US needs to raise GDP, not by just stimulating the government, because that will only help in the short run to lower unemployment. We should use other sources such as tax credits. Germany, for example, gives tax credits to businesses that shorten hours rather than firing employees, overall helping the job market. Just stimulating the government will not help the US in the long run, because most people use that money to consume, which is good to help the recession in terms of short term because it increases GDP, but because people consume more than they invest, it means that most of that money is going overseas and helping foreign markets, thus making the US even more dependent and hurting our future success as a nation. Unemployment rates seem to not be getting better, and technically it's even worse. To be considered unemployed, you must be at least 16 and be actively seeking a job within the past 4 weeks. So this means if you stop looking, you're not in the unemployed category and you're not considered part of the working force. So there's even more people that are unemployed right now. To understand how the economy works, you first have to understand the basics. If demand is high and supply stays the same, then equilibrium price and quantity will increase. So then if supply increases and demand stays the same, then equilibrium price and quantity will fall. Supply and demand have many different aspects that influence them. For example, how much a good costs compared to similar goods would affect demand for that product. People's income level affects how much they would pay for a product, which affects demand. How many people are producing that product affects supply, and of course technology affects both categories. When the market price is above equilibrium, meaning quantity supplied exceeds the demand, it leads to the market having a surplus. Likewise, when the market price is below equilibrium, this means that demand surpasses quantity supplied, which leads to a shortage. Sometimes to stop these problems from happening, the government has to step in and create a price ceiling or a price floor, which all influence GDP, which is our gross domestic product, so it's the total output of our government. So we consume, that usually increases GDP and helps the market overall. Likewise, if we don't consume, GDP goes down and unemployment increases. Since GDP is roughly 15 trillion, this means that you have to raise GDP by 300 billion per year to reduce unemployment by 1%. Obama tried to enact a stimulus program that would help increase GDP. It was supposed to be $775 billion over a 2-year period, and it was supposed to reduce unemployment by 2%, which unfortunately none of this happened. Unemployment actually increased since then to 9.1%, which means about 14 million are without jobs, proving that the stimulus plan isn't enough. We have to find other means to be able to solve this crisis.